can remember things. Okay, so I've been finding some really cool pumpkin recipes. I want to get typed up and put because I like pumpkin this timing. I like pumpkin. Just so you guys know, if you're ever like, if you have like, if you grow pumpkin, I just cook it and just mash it up like I would squash, and I absolutely love it. And it's yummy. I put cinnamon and butter and salt and pepper in it. Not pepper. I do salt and pepper with garlic and butter. And then with the cinnamon, I do just the butter and the a little bit of salt. Salt brings out that sweetness to it. But I was thinking, look, if I share my screen, let's do this. I was going to show, like, what if we went here, look, and I start showing you some of the products that are okay and not okay. Like if you're thinking about, for example, let's do, I don't know why like why it came up with this, but let's go to like the grocery department. And I'm just going to kind of go through here. Let's go through like bread. Let's go through the bakery and the bread. So let's just talk about today a little few things. So if you go to the bakery, do you see my little, does my cursor show here when I'm pointing to it?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see whenever you get a package like this and these donuts? First of all, most of you already know Mama Mel would be there with a wooden spoon saying, get your hand away from that. But there's a few reasons beyond just the basic understanding. First of all, this product is made in a facility that most likely has pork, shellfish, or lard of some sort, right? So lard from a pig. And not always, but these products, oftentimes, if they are made in-house, can be cross-contaminated. So example, like when you go to a restaurant, think about it. When you go to a deli, like at a grocery store, that grocery store deli will make a shrimp cocktail, a seafood salad, in addition to what? In addition to the macaroni salad that you thought might be okay. So there's another whole reason why we don't buy these things right here that are made in-house in their own local bakeries, because oftentimes what we find is there's cross-contamination. The other thing, these products are filled with hydrogenated oils, seed oils, unclean ingredients, and they're not almost ever labeled kosher anyway because they didn't have a rabbi come in, which we don't care about the rabbis. But the problem is if we don't look at what the rabbis say, sometimes we miss, and because the rabbis at least will sometimes tell us that there's no pork or shellfish in it, right? That's all we want to look at. That circle U, circle K, star K, COR, whatever the kosher certification is. So when we look at this screen and we're looking, first of all, hard pass, hard pass, hard pass, hard pass, hard pass. Maybe this or hard pass. All of these, there's like these Thomas's bagels are not okay. These hamburger buns, not okay. First of all, let's go to the hamburger buns here. Second of all, third of all, whatever it is that I've said now. So let's look at this and let's see if we can find the ingredient list. So, ingredients right here. Look, look, look! What in the world? So enriched flour. First of all, they take all the things out and bring it back in. All these things in here, right? So then you have water, sugar. Sugar can be genetically modified. We know that. Beet sugar often is. Yeast can be genetically modified. Soybean oil, 90,000% guaranteed this is genetically modified. Okay. And then salt, vital wheat gluten, dough conditioners. Listen, this can be pork, monoglycerides, sodium sterol, lactylate, ascorbic acid, calcium sulfate, and enzymes. Those monoglycerides, those can come from pork. These enzymes are most likely from pork. Okay. So then we go on here, we got vinegar. That can be genetically modified because if you have vinegar from apples or if you have vinegar from the corn, that's usually the white vinegars from corn. And you have the calcium propionate. That's just a chemical. First of all, you can't grow calcium propionate in your garden. You can't grow dough conditioners, monoglyceride, sodium sterolate, lactylate, ascorbic acid. You can't grow those things. Like nowhere is that an ingredient. That's not a food. That's not that's a chemical. Okay? Monocalcium phosphate, sesame flour. Now, people don't even care. They just thought, well, it's bread. Is it really bread? it's more like chemicals, right? It's not bread. And so when you're looking for options, and let's say you only got like Walmart to go to, we're going to keep going through here for a minute. I'm just going to move this screen over here. All of these are hard pass, hard pass, hard pass, hard pass. We're like, no. But all of a sudden right here, do you see this non-GMO verified label here and this vegan symbol? Can you see that? Let me click on it. So let's say like you're out of town or all you have is these options and you can't make your own bread from home and you can't do this stuff. All of a sudden you see these Pretzilla hamburger buns. Look at we see the CRC, that's a kosher sign. Do you see that? We have the non-GMO verified sign, and we have the certified vegan sign. Three things there that help us identify this could be a clean food item, okay? So not only is it kosher, not only is it non-GMO verified, it's also certified vegan. Those are three things to really help us make sure we're avoiding pork and shellfish. So of all the breads, we just passed by 30 bread items that aren't food. But this one looks pretty good. Now let's look at the ingredients over here. When we zoom in here, you have wheat flour and you have water, vegetable oil. Now, this canola oil and sunflower oil, usually sunflower oil is not genetically modified, but oftentimes canola oil is. But here we have a variant that has been verified through testing that is not. This sugar has been tested and analyzed and traced back. Sorry, my little phone over here is like, this yeast over here has been tested. We have the vinegar, the calcium, all these things have been tested. Now, this is a much lesser evil. Do you see that? Even though it still has dough conditioners, it still has some of these chemicals. Now, in those other products, there's a chance that some of those things weren't from GMO sources, genetically modified sources. But you would have to call the company, talk to them, and say what's going on. But none of those, those other ones had enzymes. Notice this doesn't have enzymes. We got the kosher sign, the vegan sign, and it says non-GMO verified. So in a pinch, this is much better. Do you see how this is actually, you're protected on a few levels, okay? And I saw those the other day when I was at the store. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Now, if we continue on here, going down, let me know if you can't see the screen or anything happens. We see another one right here. This is non-GMO verified, but let's look at something. So these ones are non-GMO verified, but do we see a kosher sign? There's no kosher, there's no vegan sign. Now let's look at the other labels here. Let's look at this. This is where it's not just so simple as saying, oh, it's fine, because there's no vegan sign, there's no non-GMO I mean, there is a non-GMO verified. But what things in here could come from pork? Well, if they have enzymes, if right here it says enzymes right there, it says sunflower oil here. Let me point. Well, I'm trying to point to it, but then it keeps moving. Sunflower oil, canola oil, soybean enzymes. Those enzymes often are conditioners from pork. They extract things when they're processing pig and use it in the dough. So I would say a hard pass no to this product unless what? Unless I called the company and they verified with me. If they said, oh, nope, that does not come from blah, 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 blah. So while this is non-GMO verified, we don't have the vegan sign. What would the vegan sign help me to recognize? Well, what does vegan mean?
No animal product.
Right. So that means no pork or shellfish, right? So if it's vegan, and vegans are even a bit more strict sometimes than kosher, right? Vegans care. They don't want animal products in their food. And so that's why oftentimes if we see non-GMO verified with vegan, usually we're pretty safe, okay? But this bread would be for me, no, absolutely no, unless I could call the company and check. Now, let's continue on. As we go down this little list here, I was going to show you some breads that we would start to see that probably are okay. Now, I have called different companies over the years. And wow, look how many bread things. Look at all these packages. Look at all these things, shiny, bright labels. Doesn't make it any healthier. Now, these Osry buns, they're pretty good. They're full of sugar and they are both, look at this over here, right here. It says kosher and vegan. Do you see that? And non-GMO. Do you see over here where my cursor is pointing on the little page here? Okay. Now, if you look at this, the morning rounds right here, they got the non-GMO verified sign, they're vegan, and they're kosher. Now, I will show you the ingredient list. Holy buckets, right? Holy buckets. But honestly, they're pretty clean. It's a very long list. You got your flour, you got your enriched flour, cane sugar, you got all these things. Is it the best choice? No. Is it a better choice? Yes. Now look at this nutrition label right here. Notice how we have total fat. Okay, so calories 160 grams. Sorry, calories, I'm sorry. Total fat 1 gram. Cholesterol 0, whatever. Sodium 170. But let's look here. Total carbs 32 grams. The dietary fiber in this is 2. To get our net carbs, what do we do? 32 minus 2 equals 30. That's pretty high carb load. So if you're trying to balance your carbs and protein, that's pretty high. And 7 of that comes from sugars, some of it, the fruit in there, because there's only 3 added grams of sugars. Overall, if you had to go on vacation and this is what you had for your choices, I would give this a B minus. I would say, okay, some of you, this is a better option than what some of your children could have, or if you could have. And for like a weekend treat where you're having a tiny bit of sugar, it's not too bad, right? Not bad. I have eaten these. I don't usually eat them because they are a bit sweet for me. I think the last one I had was probably 8 years ago. So it's been a while. They are good. They do taste good. But I would just say, and it's not like the added sugars isn't terrible. So these 7 grams of sugars right here are going to come from like over here, the juices that are in there and the cranberries, the fruits, okay? It's going to come from those things. This is actually not a bad option. So if you can find the Osary brand or Osary buns, not completely a bad choice. Now, continuing on here, let's see. I'm just kind of going through here. Now, here's something that fools people. They see keto, but keto doesn't mean okay. Normally, keto will easily contain, and they'll just so it's 15 grams fiber, 0 sugar, 70 calories. People are like, oh my gosh, this is wonderful. Well, it doesn't say non-GMO. It doesn't say kosher. And so therefore we know that the ingredients could most likely and possibly, here, let's see if I can zoom in on this. I don't know if it's doing it for us here. That one didn't have a, okay, it's not showing it, but it won't let me zoom in on that for some reason, which is fine. I would say, nope, no, there's no kosher, there's no vegan, there's no non-GMO sign on this. I'm going to be like, there's probably something in there, right? Because just so you know, remember, they can purify sugar through a pork. They take something from the pork stomach, the pig stomach. So if you have a product with sugar and it's not kosher, I always avoid it because I know they can, oh, that's it. I'm sorry. The milk can be purified through the stomach lining, but the bone, they take bone shard from a pig to make the sugar white. That's how they get some of your sugar white. So if it doesn't say kosher, say no, thank you. Now we have Dave's Killer Bread. Everybody knows about Dave's Killer Bread. I would hope it would make us alive, but in actuality, some of it might make us dead. However, usually, let's look at some things here. We got the organic sign. Organic is by default, organic is non-GMO. By USDA law, a food item that is organic can contain zero GMOs. Now they have a sliding scale, like a 1%, they sometimes say, but it's not supposed to have any GMOs by law. Organic is your highest standard. Non-GMO verified is another one. The reason manufacturers will put both on their labels is because people have no clue. Like some of you guys, you'll be like, I don't know what it means. I'm looking for non-GMO or I'm looking for organic. So if somebody had in their head to look for non-GMO, not understanding organic that's why they're doing these signs, because to help the confused people navigate the shelves. So they're telling you, look, our product is organic, our product is non-GMO. They could have totally skipped that non-GMO label, but some people get confused. So if we come over here to the back of the label, this one, I am not seeing a kosher sign, but I've never, oh, there. Notice that big circle U right there in the middle of the package? That means kosher. Let's go up here and look at the ingredients. Okay, I'm going to move my little screen here, sorry. And then over here. Now, A lot of stuff there. Again, kosher, fine. Look how many added sugars there are, though. 5 for one slice of bread or one bun, right? So 160 calories total, not bad fat, but we're not really worried about fat as long as we're eating healthy fats. But you got one bun is 160 calories, 3 grams fat, but 31 carbs. Total dietary fibers 4. 31 minus 4 is 27. 27 grams carbs, 5 grams of sugar, added sugar, 6 grams protein. So again, this would be an okay, like a B minus, right? If you have to have something, Dave's Killer Bread's fine. If you can't make your own, if you're stuck in these, like, you just have to make options. What you would want to start doing though is looking at if you're having 5 grams of sugar in that, you better cut out sugar somewhere else, right? You're going to have to do that. All these other ones, absolutely no. They're not non-GMO. They're not organic. They don't have any of the safety. They're just processed, chemicalized foam pretending and disguising itself as food. Again, we got the Dave's Killer Bread, and you could go on and on and on. These Osary snacking rounds, again, they're good, but they're going to have some sugar. So one of the things that this should show you is that on your shelf, 90% of the items are not food. 90% of what you find on that grocery shelf, you should not be touching. And you should always go the perimeter of the grocery store, right? Let's do the fresh foods, right? Let's get vegetables and produce, and let's make sure we're getting milk and cheese, at least, and eggs, food, ingredients, items. Now, is there anything in particular, since I just kind of at the last minute thought to do this, what kind of food items are you wondering about? Like, are you looking for what types of items? And Walmart is something, this store is everywhere. Not everybody has an Albertsons. Not everybody has a King Soopers. Not everybody has a Smith's. Not everybody has a, right? So what are some food items you guys are wondering about? And we'll just take a look here together.
Like, what about like what is it, Applegate's chicken nuggets or something like that? Are those
Okay,
okay?
so Applegate nuggets. Now, okay, and we'll look at those here. Let's just look at those. Oop, my finger pushed it. Here we go. So when you look at the Applegate chicken nuggets, one of the things that when I call the company, I have called this company, they do say that they break down the assembly line. They do not have cross-contamination. They do not do these, like they aren't going to put the chicken with any of their beef, their pork hot dogs, okay? Applegate was one of the first health food companies in the nation. While these are not completely non-GMO verified, Applegate makes it their mission to try to avoid GMOs. Okay. But in honesty, if you look at it, we see there's no non-GMO verified sign. So what do we know? There's a chance that because they're not taking the chance, they're not taking the opportunity to look. Now we do know there's no, oh wait, right. I just lied. It doesn't have the non-GMO verified sign, but we're looking right here on their page. No artificial or GMO ingredients. See, I've always trusted Applegate. In fact, years ago, I had a dream, like 2002. I was like, Father, oh, it was 2003 or something. I'm like, show me. Because I was wondering about this cheese I was using. And I was wondering about these Applegate hot dogs that were organic. He showed me putting the Applegate hot dogs in my cart and taking the cheese and putting it on the shelf, getting rid of it. And so when I called a company, they take strong care to separate their ingredients. Do you see what I'm saying? Like they try not to do the pork and the chicken, which they're supposed to. And right here, it says right here, no artificial or GMO ingredients. Okay, this is a healthier option. Again, if you look at the label, I'm not going to say these things, like, right? Look at, I mean, so it's got white meat, chicken, rice flour, water, tapioca starch, corn starch, sea salt. I skipped some there. Rice starch, cane sugar, leavening, raisin juice, garlic powder, onion powder, extracts of paprika, turmeric, celery. Okay, honestly, not terrible. Most of these items we can pronounce. Most of these items we know what they are, correct? I do buy these for my husband. I don't eat them, but I don't eat meat. But even if I did eat meat, I wouldn't eat these. However, my husband does. and I let him eat these. I mean, I buy them for him because overall, I can see they don't use GMO ingredients. They're trying, and he's okay with more sugar than I am. He's okay with more processed than me. I will tell you, if you want to make your homemade chicken nuggets, everybody loves these. I take my chicken breasts or chicken thighs or chicken tenders. I dice them into approximately, well, they're thin, so it's about probably like a 1/4 inch thick, but I take 1 inch squares, okay? Not cubes, but 1 inch squares by about a 1/4 inch. And then what I do is I make a mix of flour with flour, water, salt, flour, salt, pepper, garlic powder, okay? A lot of each of those, a lot of salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Mix it all together. Then I take buttermilk or whole milk. I dredge my chicken first in the flour, then I dredge it in the milk, go back to the flour, go back to the milk, one more time to the flour. Make sure my oil is about medium to medium high. Fry them. The whole world loves those. So notice how the ingredients: chicken, flour, water, salt, garlic, and a little bit of the oil versus. So for me, since I butchered like 100 chickens a year, it was much easier and better for me and my family just to make them from scratch. I was the farm wife who made everything from scratch. In a pinch, you can do this, but the cost analysis is going to work in your favor to make it from home. Okay? Again, the one thing to consider, and we know this, the more white flour we eat, the worse our guts are, the worse our digestive system is. If you can swap it out for whole wheat, you're going to have to watch your fry times. You can put those in the oven instead. Whole wheat flour is always going to be better for you. If you can find something like a Prairie Gold flour, or a soft white wheat berry, it could be still the whole wheat berry, but it's got a little bit more of a white flour texture that we're used to. We're so used to refined and processed foods here in America. So that's something to consider. However, that being said, I think that's a great question. These are something, they're pricey. Like even here, it's $11.72. You're going to get one meal. Whereas when I make like chicken breast, like you get a chicken breast, you're going to get so much more food out of homemade than this. These are just little things. Another thing to consider, if you are trying to have like a meatless menu or a meatless day, so you take some zucchini and shred it. And my husband and son always said they sound disgusting, but they're wonderful. So mash up some black beans or kidney beans or some beans, shredded zucchini, mix and make sure your zucchini's like squeezed out the water, okay? Mix those two things together with some eggs, depending on how much you have, 1 to 2 eggs to bind it. Put your salt, pepper, garlic. Now, I like it a little spicy, so like paprika, chili powder, you can take it to that level or leave it plain. Salt, pepper, garlic, or that's your holy trinity of cooking, okay? Salt, pepper, garlic, that's what you need to use. And then you mix it with chickpea flour or regular flour or almond flour, and you mix it up into your own little nuggets, okay? And then you can dredge it in some, so you take, trying to think, crackers, like crushed up crackers or breadcrumbs. You can take some panko, and so you dredge it in egg, put it in the panko, and you can pan fry those. And there you got an amazing little meatless meal that's actually pretty affordable, high in protein, good fiber source, and amazing. And like my husband says, they smell fantastic and they taste fantastic. Don't tell them what they're eating. Just like don't tell them first and just serve it. Your kids are going to love it. You can even add broccoli into that. But here's the other thing. You could take your chicken, kind of grind it up, add it into this, and stretch your meat farther. Anytime you're trying to stretch your meat and you have a limited budget, add some meat with oats. One of our beautiful sisters, her milk supply is flourishing with the little oatmeal pancakes recipe I gave her the other day. She's like, she'll eat the oats in the morning and her pillow will be soaked at night because she's nursing right now. So you're like, woof. So if you can add a little bit of oats to your meat dishes, it stretch like meatloaf, right? So that's what they used to do to stretch that meat out. some of you use breadcrumbs, but oats are the way to go. And so you take your meat and add in like at least a third of it, a third of that weight also in oats. All of a sudden you got like a third more volume for a lot less money. So when you're making meatballs, right? You take like your 1 pound burger to a half cup oats is what I do, to 1 egg, salt, pepper, garlic, and I roll them all together. Think about that. 1 pound of meat just increase, was able to feed more people because I added the oats to it. That oats is a filler. The oats it's good protein, but it's more, of course, the carbs. But those are some tricks to do. So you could even grind up your chicken. You could add your zucchini to it and your oats and make this thing. And all of a sudden you've got like chicken nuggets and they don't have to know that you just put in all those other things because everybody loves meatloaf and they don't know that they don't taste the oats, they taste the meat. Okay, Yesenia.
Do you throw in the oats like whole? Like,
Yes. So
okay.
not a groat, not an oat groat. I'm using either I usually have usually well you can use steel cut oats, but I usually use like the whole not whole oat groats and not steel cut oats, but like the quick oats or just the old fashioned oats. I often use the old fashioned ones. But they don't taste that. They don't taste it. And like I said, the minute I told my husband what I made, he's like, that don't sound good. And every time I'd make it, he goes, man, that smells good. And I'm like, mm-hmm. And then he would try it. He's like, these are really good. They sound disgusting, but so just don't tell him. Now, if you use the chickpea flour, so I'll make chickpea pancakes for my family. And my husband loves them. But you know what I make on it? I take the I just forgot what it's called. Hollandaise. I take like a hollandaise egg sauce, which is like the butter and the egg yolks. You put it over there. Oh my goodness, my family makes it. Or tzatziki dip, where you take the cucumbers, Greek yogurt, and I just do salt, pepper, garlic, right? Just make it quick. Mix it all together with a little bit of vinegar, the organic rice vinegar. Boom, throw it all together. It's amazing. Um, Okay, so let's look at some other things. So let's say you're in a hurry, you need some quick dinners. I'm going to show you like, okay, so this brand right here, let's say you need a frozen dinner. And I'm not saying, Amy, that we should focus on frozen dinners, but Amy's brand has been committed to giving us healthy options. So these are not frozen, but these canned soups are pretty good. Sometimes they're going to make you fluffy. And so you'll have lots of fluffs coming out that rear end, and it will, so make sure if you get one of the lentil ones that you're not working with somebody in close quarters the next day. Just saying, because it's for real. And sometimes they can kind of hit you that way, but for the most part, they're really good. Their refried beans are absolutely amazing. She does a fantastic job. You could get right here 3 meals out of 1 can of beans, but they're not cheap. Okay, the can is not 28.30, but this one's saying 328.30 for a 3-pack. That's ridiculous. You can go to Azure Standard and get a 12-pack of beans. However, you guys, if you're going to make refried beans, so just get some pinto beans, organic pinto beans, okay, from Azure. Rinse them in water, just to wash them off. Then put like a 1 inch or 2 inch layer of pinto beans in the bottom of a cooking implement. Fill it double that in water. So if you have 1 inch of beans, you want 2 inches of water above it. That's 3 inches total. Soak that overnight with a lid. The next day, drain out that water. Again, put that exact same volume of water in, so double the volume of water in the beans. Put it in a crock pot, cook it for like 5 to 6 hours. When it's done, drain off most of that water, reserve some of the liquid, mix it in a blender, put in some chili, green chilies, salt, peppers, salt, garlic, taco seasoning. Don't use pepper in these, but green peppers you can, and chili peppers. Oh my goodness, it's the best thing in the world. And I use Azure Standard taco seasoning. That's like your key. Chili powder and taco seasoning. Those beans are to die for. And how much did I just spend to feed like 20 people? Those beans, you can make so many beans for like $3. Now you buy a can of Amy's for like $4, you can feed 3 people. Or you can make your own beans at home. And if you don't have a crock pot, that's fine. Use an Instant Pot, use just a stove top. You just have to, it's harder on the stove top because then you got to cook it for, all day. If it's in the winter, you can do this. If it's in the winter and you have a wood burning stove, you put them in your cast iron pan and put it right on top of the wood burning stove. I used to do that with roasts. If we were going to have a busy day, the wood burning stove is going, I'd fill up my little cast iron cooker thing, put it right on top of the wood burning stove, and dinner would be done eventually. You know, it's what they did in the old days. And so those are some things to think about. But let's say you are in a hurry, you don't really have the time to cook refried beans, or you don't have the willpower. You can get, it's definitely not $161 for these frozen dinners in Walmart section. I don't even know. Oh, it's telling me in Gunnison, Colorado. So that's why it has the wrong store. But I don't know where Gunnison is. But anyway, these are some of the items you can get. These frozen burritos, frozen, oh my goodness, this pizza is so good. This frozen margarita pizza, I eat that a lot. Not a lot, occasionally. But that's an option. Like, let's say you're looking for something quick to get in the freezer. The burritos are actually really good. But again, you can make your homemade tortillas. It's 2 parts flour to 1 part liquid. That liquid is half butter, half water, usually. You can adjust that. You just want 2 parts flour to 1 part liquid, and then just some salt. Let that dough, let it come together and kind of let it rest, and then you roll it out into little balls. Put it in your cast iron skillet, put the skillet over, it's no oil in it, over a medium low, and you cook all your tortillas. So if you have the time, because in life you have to decide, am I going to spend money or time, right? So if you want it quick, it's going to cost you money. But if you don't have the money, then you're going to have to use your time. But you can make your dollars stretch. So you get a big old bag of refried beans, make your own bean burritos or bean filling, and you can throw in the green chili, salt, whatever. Liquid aminos is a good thing to keep on hand because it's just here. Let me show you what that is. Oh my goodness, it gives everything just this little umami flavor. Liquid aminos. Right over here. See this Bragg's liquid aminos? Amazing. You can get this from Azure or Walmart. This coconut aminos is okay as well. It just doesn't have much flavor, and like you got to pour a whole bottle in to get any flavor. Just not worth it. When you're looking for rice, let's look here. So if we go over here, we're looking at rice. I would stay away and avoid any of these rices that are not organic, but look right here on the Mahatma rice. Look at the non-GMO verified label and the kosher sign, okay? Rice is high in carbs, not always the best, but it works. Here you have the boil in a bag white rice, right here with the non-GMO verified sign and kosher again. It makes it easier, but again, you're paying money or time. I would rather buy the big bags of rice from Azure and I put it in a rice cooker. My rice cooker is one of my best friends, my Instant Pot and my rice cooker. Because my rice cooker, I can make almost any grain in there. So tabbouleh, if I'm going to make bulgur or if I'm going to make quinoa, I just put it in the rice cooker. It's amazing. It's so worth the investment. Stainless steel rice cooker. Make sure your insert is stainless steel, not those weird plastic things. These things right here, I'm just telling you, you're going to have diarrhea. I'm telling you, if you eat these tasty bites, you're going to have a lot of toilet paper or be by a bathroom. I tried them and my guts are healthy. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I was fluffing everywhere and I didn't get the soft stools, but I know you could and I know you would. And it was bad. I would avoid those for the rest of my life at all costs unless I had no option and was going to die. If I didn't eat, I would eat those because they are kosher, they are organic, they are non-GMO verified. However, oh my goodness, just not what I'm looking for to do in life. Okay, so if we keep going, we see most of these products again. Look at how 90% of food is not food. 90% of products not okay. Here we got the basmati rice. Now, if you want to make the basmati, what I do is I take my mushrooms and my broth, a vegetable broth. I usually use the Imagine vegetable broth is kosher and organic, and you make a risotto. Ooh, and you have to keep adding it. So when you make your basmati rice, I always saute mushrooms and onions on the bottom in butter, okay? I dice it real small. Then I throw in the quantity of rice, and then you have to keep adding in broth, okay? So you double the broth at first, so like 1 cup rice to 2 parts liquid, and you're cooking it over medium low heat. After you bring it to a boil, you reduce it, Then you have to keep adding it. So with a risotto, you cook and you cook and you cook because the basmati will keep drinking up the liquid. And you want to keep adding liquid until all of a sudden you have this nice gooey consistency where everything's cooked through. Okay? So that one's amazing. And then you can finish it with some herbs, some parsley, a little bit more butter on top, salt, pepper, garlic. Butter is good for you. Just don't get afraid of butter. You see a few things as we're going through here, but none of these in effect are the whole grain rice. That's where we run into a problem. And so I don't know if they have Lundberg rice. Let me see here. So usually when you go to Walmart, if you go to Walmart, often you'll have, okay, here. So these, you can get these from Azure a lot cheaper. What you're going to try to do is these whole grain rice. Okay, so you can get the California brown basmati rice. You can get the red rice and quinoa crackers. Those are actually really good if you need a snack. If you like cardboard, I do like cardboard. I like these Lundberg rice cakes. Some of you do not, but I love these with hummus on them. They're so good, you guys. They're so good. Look, I'm just going to show you these since they popped up. Let's look at the ingredients. I want to show you the ingredients here. Shooters. Okay, so here we go. So organic certified brown rice, regenerative red rice, and quinoa. That's it. Now, a lot of carbs, but very clean, not added sugars. And I take these and I spread them with, I know I'm weird, but I'll put sunflower seed butter and jelly right on these. I will put hummus on these, but these go a long way. So if you have children, rice cakes are one of those things where if you can, they're actually pretty inexpensive and they kind of go a long way. Men hate them, but children will usually endure them. Okay, so that's just something to consider. And then going back here to the other rice, again, go to Azure Standard. Azure Standard was down earlier. Let me see if I can get it here. I think they're redoing their site right now, which is fine. They're doing maintenance. If you do wild rice, you guys, with the winter coming up, wild rice is one of your best friends, but wild rice is very expensive. But again, I take the butter and the onions and I saute it. I'm sorry, I take mushrooms and onions and saute them in butter. And then I cook my wild rice with just like I do the risotto almost, but I add more liquid so then it's like soupy, you know. But I put a little bit of cream in with it, salt, pepper, a ton of garlic, liquid aminos, more mushrooms as I need on top. Oh my goodness, you guys, you want a good soup? That's good. I mean, wild rice soup is one of my favorites. I used to sell it all the time at my restaurant. You can add chicken in with that. Okay. Notice if you don't want to make it the soup, keep it down at the risotto level, your wild rice, but just use that butter. You can put celery in this. I like celery and I use celery in a lot of things. So with your butter, you always want to saute those, like your savories. You want to saute your herbs, your vegetables. Mushroom's not really a vegetable, but you know what I mean. Onion, celery, vegetable. Celery goes really well in the wild rice blend. And okay, that's just an option. And so then you see these different rice products here you can do. I get this, like, see right here where it has the big bag of rice. That's what I buy. You used to be able to get those at Costco, but I don't think they still sell it. But you can get these at Azure Standard. And so rice is a good one. So if we're going to go, let's say we're going to look at cheese, because some of you wonder about cheese. Let's look at here. Let me just do this organic cheese, because you already know to stay away from the other cheeses. Most cheeses have genetically modified ingredients. They have rennet that is genetically modified. They have the cows have been fed genetically modified grains. You have pig, to use the pig rennet. So cheese can be a hard one. This Rumiano cheese right here, you can get it from Azure Standard. For some reason, it's not showing like the cheeses. Oh goodness. Yeah, this one you can get. See this Organic Valley American cheese? You see, I'm going to click on it here. This one, our local Walmart now has. Now, cheese is, because of Rabbinic Judaism, they don't always kosher certify things that could be kosher. In fact, now Tillamook, I don't advise using that brand, but it's one of the safer brands if you don't have organic. It does use no RBGH or growth hormones. It is technically kosher as far as no pork or shellfish, okay? But I wouldn't eat it. I would only go to organic. because I want my feed to have no GMOs as well. I don't want that in the milk. But with Rumiano, you will see one variety of cheese certified or certified kosher, but it's just on the day the rabbi's there. They'll only certify kosher that block of cheese, but it's the same ingredients the next day. The rabbi wasn't there to bless it. Do you see why you have to know rabbinic Judaism? Or do you have to know what you're dealing with? Because that's ridiculous, isn't it? But when we look right here, we know that it's organic. So we know that it doesn't have any of that stuff. Where are the ingredients? I'm trying to find the ingredient list on here to show you. Goodness, why is it not doing this for me? Okay. I don't know why it's not showing the ingredients. I don't know. Well, this one does not, it has animal or vegetarian rennet is what I was going to show you, but apparently it didn't take a picture of that. Oh, here. Maybe if I go down here, full item details. No, oh yeah, here, ingredients right here. Okay, here's the ingredients. You can see it right here. Milk, water, butter, sodium citrate, salt, annatto, and vegetarian enzymes. Notice how they clarify they're vegetarian. Those comes from mushrooms. And so there's no pork. Okay? You have to be careful because Sargento cheese used beef enzymes. But you do need to be careful because sometimes enzymes in cheese can come from pork. Like Kraft products will contain pork. And do you know that? What's that? Velveeta? Don't eat it. That has pork in it. It used to. They switched some of it now to soybean, but it obviously has GMOs. But just stop. Nuts are typically not genetically modified. Fruits and vegetables, you need to watch out for potatoes. You always need to get organic potatoes, organic apples. If you don't, those two things are almost always genetically modified. Zucchini, you need to make sure it's organic. Okay, now I'm going to open it back up again for questions. I just went through a few things that I thought you might have questions with. What else? You guys have any other questions? Like what other products do you want me to show you and take a look at? Anything? So we did the bread. That's a big one. The other thing is you guys really, and just ask me, message me like, hey, could we get a recipe on this? Or could we get a recipe on this? Making your food from scratch is amazing. Let's see if Azure Standard has their site maintained yet. I can tell they're doing site maintenance today because it's been down for like an hour. That was still down. Okay, go ahead, Mecca or Tyler, whoever has the question.
Go.
Okay, now I hear you.
Got it. Okay. So, what is the brand of turkey pepperoni that you use?
Applegate. Just,
Is
but
it
it's not at Walmart. It's just like we just showed the Applegate chicken nuggets where they're not organic, but it says they use no GMO ingredients. But I don't think you can get them from here. I would not use Hormel. Here, let's see, turkey pepperoni. I don't think they have it here at Walmart. No. Okay. Let me see if I can go over here to albertsons.com, which is crazy, I know. Okay, let's see if we can do that. Whoa, what happened? I don't know what I did. I put you guys somewhere. Okay, there. When you go to Albertsons, they might have it. Sorry, I keep hitting the wrong button. Lunch meat's another big one that I wouldn't do unless, okay, so do not trust Hormel. Just don't. Hormel is GMO feed, GMO products, slaughterhouse, lots of pork. It's going to be cross-contaminated. In fact, in a lot of your turkey bacons, you got to be careful. If it's not the healthier brands, they take pork renderings to flavor it. Same thing with your imitation crab meat. You're thinking you're eating a flounder or a whitefish or something like that. They took crab juice to flavor it. And so they're fooling you. So be careful. So stay away from this junky lunky. And let's see. No, they don't have it on here. Yeah. But you can get it like these lunch meats, they're not okay. These natural choice. Well, I'm telling you, everything on the world is kind of natural. Like it doesn't make it okay. And so you don't want to eat like these natural lunch meats. They're not any healthier. Jennie-O's terrible, Oscar Mayer terrible. you're going to have to go to the ones with the no nitrates, the healthier. So if we go, I don't know if Albertsons on here has the Applegate Farms for some reason. Oops. Oop. I don't know what that was. Okay. Oh, again, I did that. Let's see if Applegate comes up. Like, here's the chicken and sage sausage. Again, it's going to be the same consideration as the nuggets. We know they're committed to no GMO ingredients. Look at the white cheddar cheese here, though. This is the O's Organic brand. If you have Lucerne, this is that organic brand. I want to show you something. When you get down here to the ingredients right here. Now, look at how it says this. Organic milk, salt, microbial enzymes. That means no pork enzymes, okay? So microbial enzymes are from mushrooms, again, like vegetarian enzymes. So you're going to be pretty safe with that. Most milk products. If we go back again, let me just see if they have Applegate here. I don't know. I really would like, it was inconvenient. Who told Azure they could update their site today? I don't know. They didn't. Okay, so it's not coming up on here. But Applegate, this brand has lunch meat. They also have, so they have turkey lunch meat, beef lunch meat. You can get the organic ones, the chicken lunch meat, no nitrates, it's healthier. And I'm sorry, but it's just the truth is that there's no such thing as cheap food. If you have cheap food, it's going to cost you your health. So people want cheap food, but it's just like spirituality. There's no greasy grace. We want, like, if we take the easy path in our spiritual life, it's also sliding us right into Satan's grasp. And so if we eat these easy, cheap foods, it's gonna catch up with us. We're gonna get diabetes, sodium, levels through the roof. We're gonna have all sorts of problems. There's just no such thing as cheap food, which is sad. But it's not coming up. I apologize. But tuna, did you guys know tuna? Let's go back over here to Walmart. Oh, I guess I did this. Let's go back over here to walmart.com. Did I? Well, sheesh, willikers. What was that?
I just ate a can of tuna that you had recommended, and it was
Good.
like actually good tuna. And I was like, I've never liked tuna in my life, but this
Yep.
is like, it's good.
Exactly. Which brand did you eat? Which one?
The Planet,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yep, the Healthy Planet one. I know which one you're talking about. Now here's another one. Bumblebee tuna. Let's see here. You want to watch out because olive oil is actually pretty good for us. But we got to be careful because they'll say olive oil and then it's actually soybean oil. They'll cut it with something else. They're very devious, deceitful, devious. So when I'm looking for tuna, there's a few things to look at. Let's look at this Bumblebee one. Okay, and let me just look at this label for you. Let me push this over so I can see it. Notice it does have the kosher sign. If we go to the side, it says, oh, this is the front. Now, we're looking for, look at these three things. Dolphin safe. I'm always looking for line caught, and I'm always looking for kosher. Well, right here they have the non-GMO verified. So that's good, but there's no such, I mean, at least none of the added ingredients in this are going to be genetically modified. It is dolphin safe. So I guess there's 4 things I look for. But I don't see line caught. Do you? No. So for me, that's this one says wild caught. So that would be good. I would do wild caught or line caught. I'm fine with that. I just want to make sure that it's kosher, that it's non-GMO verified for any of the other ingredients, that it is wild or line caught, and that it's dolphin safe. Because if you don't get dolphin safe, they can add dolphins into your tuna and then you're eating dolphin. Gag me with a spoon. Okay, go ahead, Megan.
All right. So I was just looking at my tuna. It does say dolphin is like this Raincoast Global. It's like full on line caught dolphin
Yes.
safe, but there's absolutely nowhere on it that has the kosher.
Okay, so what's the brand, honey?
It's Raincoast Global.
Okay, and if it's one of the higher ends of tuna, sometimes they didn't hire a kosher agency. What you could do is call the company to make sure that it was not processed with crab. Because what you're doing is sometimes there's oysters in that facility or on that line equipment. And so what you're looking for is to make sure this guarantee that the line was broken down, that everything was disinfected, sanitized properly. for those reasons. This is why I tell you guys, sometimes these little companies you got to be careful of, because a little company that doesn't have a lot of money will share space with an unclean ingredient. So their product is clean, but they're sharing a kitchen, a facility that at the same time is processing pork or shellfish. There was one of those facilities here. And so like I tell people, that product itself would have been fine, but now you've got somebody right beside you making the shrimp, the crab, the pork, that you got to be careful. Oftentimes, though, when you call them, they just didn't have money to kosher certify or to kosher certify it. Okay, but yeah. So Costco has a multi-pack of that Wild Planet one, whatever it's called, that I really like. Some people are, they get nervous about the mercury levels, so you got to watch that. But anyway, so that's something to watch for in tuna. Pasta. Let's look at this. Pasta. Walmart doesn't really have a lot of organic pasta choices, but what it does have is this Barilla pasta. So even though it's right here, this one's going to be primarily white flour. You can get a whole wheat one as well. It's non-GMO verified. It is kosher. I do not buy the Great Value pasta. Wheat is often genetically modified. We know that it can be sprayed with glyphosate to be ripened and harvested, and we know that in itself, they have found fields. They say it's not on the market, but they disproved that, and they showed that it was actually on the market, just hidden. They weren't being honest. And so the Barilla pasta, though I get I will buy these ones, but I usually buy the whole wheat one. Is this one whole wheat? I don't know. They have a whole wheat line, which is the one that I normally buy. Honestly, and they do a really good job. It's not bitter. Oh, and this is a fun one. If you guys ever, this manicotti, what I do is I take spinach, mushrooms, onions, and tomatoes, dice it all up, put it with a package of cottage cheese with salt, pepper, and garlic. Imagine that. Mix it all together. And then you fill the manicotti with that, and you put your pasta sauce on top, your tomato sauce on top, or diced tomatoes, either one that's Italian seasoned. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the Italian seasoning in with your mix. And then put your cheese on top, your mozzarella cheese, that Rumiano. You've got a great meal there. I love manicotti. Meatless. But now if you want to add meat, no problem. Put some burger in there, put some of the chicken sausages in there. Make sure you season it again with the Italian seasonings. You got a great dinner. Okay. Most soups, oh, let's look at this, broths, because that's a big one for some of you guys. Most broths you're just going to stay away from because like you just don't know. Now, I always pray, Father, show me, but most of these broth companies are making soup in the same containers where they made like a lobster bisque, a clam chowder, right? They're having these soup houses making soup. So you just have to make sure you know what you're dealing with and where, right? And so oftentimes it's best when you are making, for example, a roast. You have the bones in with the roast, so you're cooking it, save that juice. That's your broth. You can save that juice. When you're making vegetables, make your own broth. Whenever I cooked a whole chicken that I butchered and skinned, I'd save the juice, and you can freeze it, you can can it, you can do all sorts of things. Some companies have absolutely no pork or shellfish at all in their facility. You can call those. Imagine vegetable broth is really good. This one, I don't know. Just because it says vegetarian doesn't mean it's kosher. So let's look at this one. It says organic and vegan friendly. So if it's vegan friendly, you could call the company to make sure it's not cross-pollinated or cross-contaminated, not pollinated. This one might be fine because it does say vegan friendly. Vegans are extremely careful. They don't want any animal products to touch their stuff. However, I would call the company to make sure, but that might be an option for you. So the product itself is not vegan, but it is vegan friendly, meaning there's no animal products that have touched it. It shouldn't. And this is organic. And so it's worth calling the company if you're looking for that. I just usually buy the Imagine one. I don't know if Azur's ever going to get their site back up and going today. No, they're just working on that site maintenance today, which is fine. I was going to try to get it, but okay. That's a big one though. I haven't found any bouillon cubes other than the Edward bouillon cubes. Let me show you this. let's see, the Edward and Sons bullion. Let's see if they still have anything that's organic. They used to have organic ones. They might not have organic anymore, but they used to have this brand right here. Was a really good little veggie cube. This one's vegan, but I don't see no. Anyway, you'd have to look at the company. I do not use Better Than Bullion because I do know they have unclean bullion with them. I've always felt not to use that and been told by the father not to use that one. But let me see if I can even find an organic bullion. Just so you can see, because apparently I had one too many eyes. Organic bullion. So you can find, but I don't see kosher. Oh my goodness, organic. Let's see here. See how these words I'm trying to find here? I don't see it. Oh, you can buy it from Azure Standard though. They have the Frontier company right here. Frontier is usually, I think all their products are non-GMO. This one is kosher for sure. But as far as I know, all the Frontier products are they're non-GMO, but they're not all certified organic. Yeah, right here. Frontier Co-op. It's always kosher. Okay, this one's kosher, no chicken, non-irradiated, non-GMO, non-ETO, sustainably grown. This one you can order through Azure Standard, okay? So it's a big bag. It's like a 1 pound bag. See how it looks right here, this vegetarian broth powder. And then you just put a little bit in your soups, okay? But again, my big go-to is having a bottle of liquid aminos, salt, pepper, garlic. When you do that in any liquid, it really gives it the flavor you're looking for. That liquid aminos is a pop for the umami. Okay. Other questions today? That was good. I thought we would just kind of go through some of these. In the Frontier Co-op, I used to sell this brand at my store, and this isn't a bad price, $13.25 for right from Amazon there. Go ahead, Megan.
So the sorry, I was kind of running around. So the Better Than Bullion,
I don't use that.
like the organic one, we don't use it.
I don't. You pray about it. I've always been told not to use it, so I'm assuming there's something cross-contaminated in it. Because when I first saw that one years and years ago, well, 20 some years ago, I was thinking about using it, and the father said no. So I have not touched that one.
Darn,
But
I have
it's
to- I
usually,
have-
we'll pray about it because usually there's something cross-contaminated in those places.
Yeah.
Pacific stopped labeling some of their soups as kosher, and I called them, and it was because there was lobster bisque, crab, clam chowder. There was cross-contaminations in the big vats that they were cooking in. I'm extra careful. I'm thankful, not thankful, but I'm thankful that I'm allergic to some things. I was deathly allergic to shellfish, so it makes me extremely diligent to know where it's cross-contaminated. So my questions were always very poignant. Like, what was this? Well, so when I called companies, even preparing for my store, I already knew what to ask for because before I came to Torah, I was already allergic to shellfish, and I had to be extremely diligent to ask what is in this facility. Is there any possibility that someone could have touched shrimp, crab, or something and come over and touch this? Okay. Something else to consider. Goodness gracious, I really wish Azure Standard was up and going, but they're not going to be. They did not like us today. They didn't know we were having our meeting, so we're just going to stop over there because they're just being naughty. But wild caught salmon, you have to be careful, but usually if you do salmon, you just want wild caught. These little cans of salmon, always look for the kosher sign on them because some facilities have oyster or whatever. But when you get the ones that are kosher, they're kind of an easy little meal to make salmon patties. So you take this with some eggs and flour. You can throw some oats in there, and then you bread it and you griddle it up and fry it a little bit. Make really good burgers. So it's just an option. Then the wild caught salmon fillets, I do. Now remember, sometimes the salmon does escape up in Alaska. It escapes the little hatcheries, those fish farms. If it's farm raised salmon, it's guaranteed to be genetically modified almost always. And then sometimes they do escape and get into the wild. So you always want to make sure your salmon is wild caught, because otherwise it can have yucky stuff on it. This company right here, just for those of you who have babies and children, this company doesn't do any pork. So Serenity, they have turkey, chicken, beef, and salmon that I've seen. And so they don't have any of the unclean meats. So not that you're into baby foods, and these are they're a little bit expensive, but it's just good to know there's no pork in those at all. No pork in those facilities. They have beef ginger, chimichurri, beef kebab, bison, chicken and thyme, chicken coconut, chicken Mexican, you see all these chickens, but there we go. But see how they have no pork, which is nice. There we go. They're very much averse to pork, praise Yah. But I know that one day I was having a dream even that I was supposed to get this Serenity package for James. It was all grass-fed and been finished, and so I went for my grandson and picked up one. I was like, oh, praise Yah. Okay, well, I think I can stop screen sharing and go back to this. Okay, well, I think that was a good little time today. We got a lot of information where you could see some real-life examples of shopping. Got encouragement. Some of you might have panicked. You might be like, oh my gosh. But no, just remember, if it's the real ingredient, you're going to be safer. And just try to make those recipes based on real ingredients, and it's a lot better. Stay away from the white flours. Not all those breads are breads. Just because it says that it's a bread doesn't mean it actually is bread. It's foam stuff put together to look like bread. So, okay. So your Walmart doesn't have any organic things at all, Megan? That's crazy.
Yep.
That
Not one. I have, to be quite honest, I haven't even seen a non-GMO symbol there, but I don't really do my shopping there because I looked one time and I
Okay.
was, yeah.
Could I write the black bean recipe down? Yes, message me. Maybe I'll put it here. I'll make a little note right here because I'm editing today. I was gonna try to do some of the other recipes. That would be good. So that like the black bean nugget recipe, and I have been doing this stuff for so many years. I'm terrible with measurements, so I'm just gonna tell you like stuff and like throw it kind of together. And I'm that kind of cook. Now my bakery, I was by the ounce, by the like precise. Baking has to be precise. It's supposed to be precise, so I have the same consistency every single time for every single cooking. You have to do it by smell because cooking is so much more influenced by moisture in the air, humidity. So you have to anything different can make that dish a little different. So you have to cook by smell, which just sounds crazy, but you do. Once you cook by smell, you'll never have a bad recipe again because it'll be like, smells good. This is where you eat first with your nose. So black bean nugget recipe. I'll try to put it on the healthy habits. Remind me if I forget, because I obviously forget a lot because I have so much in my brain. The other day, somebody wrote to me. She was like, why'd you block me? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know who you are. I don't recognize your name. I said, but if I blocked you, then it would have been because you were being nasty to me. I said, but I honestly have no clue who you are. I said, I love you. I mean much love. But if you're causing problems, I block. Because she said, you and your friend attacking me. I'm like, I don't know who you are, lady. I'm so sorry. People will call me. I had one person tell me 4 of her dreams this morning, another person tell me like 2 of her dreams, and a lot of people tell me a lot of dreams. And I'm like, they'll be like, you remember that dream? I'm like, absolutely not. In the moment I was focused and I helped you, and then I don't know what you told me because I had 30,000 other dreams that people told to me. So it's never to be, don't please, I'm not offended when you remind me, but please don't be offended when there's no way this brain can remember everybody's every detail of their life. I can't do it. And I know I love you all. And yes, you're all my best friends. I get it. And you tell me these wonderful things about your life, and it matters to me. But there's absolutely no way that I can remember everything of everybody's life. And it's not anything personal. I just don't even think the only one who could is God. Because I get every day, like literally 4 to 13 hours of messages a day. And I love it. And I love you all. And you all matter. But I used to be all the time, like people be like, do you remember that? So remember when I told you this, I told you that? And I'm like, no, I have no idea what you said yesterday. I remember right now because I'm right here with you right now. That's all I can do right now. I'm just hanging on by a thread. My 7 plus or minus 2 is filled and gone, exploded, done. So funny. Oh, but I do love you all and I do care about you all. But there's no way. Anyway, I love you all. I will try to get that black bean nugget recipe down. The other thing is, you guys just have fun in the kitchen, but also salt, repeat with me, salt, pepper, garlic, salt, pepper, garlic. Stop with the 50,000 seasonings. Men don't like complex flavors. If you want your husband to think you're a good cook, again, salt, pepper, garlic, salt, pepper, garlic, oil, olive oil. That's the one you use. Olive oil or butter. Olive oil, butter. Olive oil, butter. Salt, pepper, garlic. Olive oil, butter. Your husband's going to think you're a fantastic cook. Take a chunk of meat, saute it in butter, put salt, pepper, garlic. He's going to, this is amazing. The minute you put on some lemon weird stuff or some weird herb seasoning that you thought sounded good to you, curry, he's going to be like, this sucks. Again, salt, pepper, garlic. Salt, pepper, garlic. Salt, pepper, garlic. Salt, pepper, garlic. Now, if you want to take it to the next level, you're doing Mexican, it is salt, chilies, salt, chilies, salt, chilies. I mean, I have to tell you, the more simple you can keep it, the better they'll like it, unless you're women. Women, we like weird things. We'll put like mango with like peppers, and we got sweet and salty. Women like complex flavors. Men don't. They want salt, pepper, garlic, salt, pepper, garlic. Okay, and so just remember that, and then liquid aminos. They always love liquid aminos. Men are always like, what'd you put in this? Liquid aminos. Okay? So if you want to impress your husband, keep it simple. Go ahead, Danielle. Is Cass laughing at me in the background or something?
Hang on. Okay, she stopped talking. No, I was just gonna say, well, first of all, she said that that's white people cooking. Salt, pepper,
Cass,
garlic.
Cass, you don't know what that's maybe, but Gil might be lying to you also.
If I cooked only salt, pepper, garlic, Gil would come up to me and be like, "What's wrong with you? Are you okay?"
Well, I gave him dishes and he liked it and he said it was good.
Gil eats everything.
Yeah, I told you.
But
No, actually, I made you guys
Or
try
maybe
my
he was lying to you, Mel. He was trying to be nice.
no, my restaurant was filled mostly with men and they ate there every meal.
this is a white people country.
I'm telling you, you're right.
That's real.
Okay, now I will be fair. I always, when Gil and Cass came, I cooked Chinese. So when you're doing Chinese, then you have to have the ginger and the seasonings like that. I do that stuff, right?
I've got like over 60 seasonings.
Exactly. And I do that and I'll do it for like, I did a lot of like lamb. So I did what was it called? A red chili lamb curry that every man in the world liked because it didn't have the weird curry. It was like a really yummy. I do a lot of those dishes at my restaurant. I was the place for the vegans and the vegetarians as well. I'm telling you though, when you're making chicken pot pie, chicken pot pie is salt, pepper, garlic. Chicken pot pie, salt, pepper, garlic.
Wow.
What?
And time.
I've had a lot of men not like it when you put thyme in it.
Well, those men are probably white.
I'm going to say 90% of the men in my restaurant were white. You're right.
But I raised my hand because I wanted to say I know Gil's next song, and it's gonna be a rap song, and it's gonna be
Salt,
salt,
pepper.
pepper, garlic, salt, pepper, garlic, salt, oil, salt, pepper.
But I will say this: salt, pepper, garlic is considered a base seasoning. All food should have that.
Exactly. And then if you're going
All
to,
food should have salt, pepper, garlic.
right. I made like, okay, so when Judd came over, because he is a very white boy and he likes salt, pepper, garlic, I made red Thai enchiladas and everybody was worried if he would like them or not. He loved them. He ate 5.
Doesn't he like Mexican food though?
Morgan made enchiladas last night.
Thai. This was Thai, red Thai,
Oh,
not
no,
Mexican.
Thai enchiladas. Never heard of that.
Oh my goodness, everybody loves them. I take coconut flour. See, everybody thought they weren't going to like them. but you take coconut tortillas and I put it with lamb and you shred it and you make this red Thai seasoning. I would sell out of that at my restaurant, boom, right away.
You need to give me that recipe because I have a bunch of lamb from Oregon, but I don't know what to do with it.
Ooh, then make lamb, red lamb. If you make red lamb korma, everybody's gonna like it in that home.
I've never tried lamb before, so I'm scared.
So take it. No, don't have to be scared, but lamb has to be paired with butter. With being a
Yes.
chef,
I mean, I always
lamb
cook with butter.
must be paired with butter.
All food needs to have salt and fat.
Yes, and fire. So
Fire.
when you're cooking your lamb, you're gonna you can sear that in butter. So sear it in your pan of butter, and then slow cook it in liquid, like in a broth. And then you're gonna add red pepper, so like the chili powder, the paprika, the cumin. You're gonna go up with your spices a little bit, and and then that butter, and it's gonna make this like really beautiful red creamy sauce. And you want to up the heat on that one. So any of the real spices like chipotle, not chipotle, what was I? I'm trying to think of the cayenne. I do a lot of cayenne in it, but that butter tames that cayenne down. I will have to find that recipe. It's in my red cookbook over there. Everybody, my husband hates curry, but that curry, he likes it.
I like curry. Curry's good.
Listen,
Me too.
I've been seeing this meme go around. There's this meme that's going around that says that England colonized all the countries with spices and never figured out how to put it in their food.
It's true. English
It's
people are
true.
very bland. I don't cook English. I cook farmer. My family were farmers. So everything was finger licking good, stick to your ribs good, and it had flavor. But the basis had to be that Holy Trinity. Now, when I do Italian food, you have to up it with a ton of Italian seasoning and olive oil. You can't use butter in Italian seasoning or when you use Italian food. Italian food has to have, I make some really good like Italian soups. At the end, you drizzle olive oil on top with fresh basil and mozzarella cheese. But you have to always, if you're ever lacking anything in your Italian food and it's just getting salty, and you're like, what am I missing? Take that olive oil, as high quality olive oil as you can right over the top, and then taste it again. Perfect.
Croissant.
And you know what we should do Friday night? A curry night.
Here?
I could make aloo gobi masala, one of my favorite dishes in the world. Well, because we're doing a Friday night dance party at your house, right? Aloo gobi masala is so good. If you guys like curry, this is for women. Men, I only had a few. I mean, men like this if they were more emo at my restaurant, more those kind of guys. But the manly men usually avoided this one, but they went for the lamb korma like crazy. So aloo gobi masala, you roast potatoes, you roast tomatoes and chickpeas, cooked chickpeas so they're already soft. And then you put it in with coconut milk and you take turmeric, paprika, garlic, chili powder, and salt with and then you play with those seasonings. You can throw in some peas if you want, but that takes it to a little bit. That's not quite. So tomatoes, potatoes, chickpeas. What'd she say?
Do peas even grow in India?
Yes. Everywhere, dork. But paneer, that's more like, so I used to make my own paneer too. You can make paneer. Oh my goodness. I love that kind of food. You make paneer so good and easy to make your own paneer, which is like a cheese. But anyway, and so one of these nights, maybe not this week because we're busy, but one of these weekends we need to do like a curry festival because I love curry food.
What about just Indian food in general? Just Indian food. I love
There is so much gas.
What?
There's so much gas.
I don't get gas from Indian food. We don't get fluffs from that.
I've not eaten a lot of Indian food because I'm not a huge fan of like spicy food, but I love butter chicken.
Oh yeah, with the yogurt, tandoori butter chicken with yogurt.
I love sweet butter chicken. That's good.
I think we're all getting hungry now. We're all sitting here like, now again, your men don't go like, oh, I'm so excited. We're going to do a curry night because your men are going to be like, give me a steak and potatoes, babe. I don't want this crap. But men will always eat Mexican, they'll always eat Italian, and they'll always eat the good old like biscuits and gravy, right? With turkey gravy, chicken gravy. But that's what I'm just saying. Some of you have picky men, and I used to have women all the time be like, I don't understand why my husband doesn't like my food. Like, look what you just threw in it. Like, men don't want interesting, they want normal, ugga bugga grub. They want a chicken, they want to identify the meat, they want maybe a gravy, a potato, meat and potatoes. I mean, that's what it is. So, okay. Cass looks very funny. Oh, and then cabbage burgers is another easy one that all I've never had people not like it. You take your beef and onion and cabbage and you cook it in butter, fill it in a bread pocket, bake it at 350, butter the top of it. Those are amazing. Easy dinner. Okay. Oh, never mind. I was going to show you guys those refrigerated bread dough things that I use that are vegan and non-GMO verified. Do you want to see it or not? Okay, let me quickly then share my screen again. We got to go back to, I was editing photos over here. Where's my, I don't think I have it. I think I have to open it first. Okay, let me open it first. Oh, it is open. Okay, never mind. So let's go back to Albertsons. Okay, so let me just see if I can do this and find it. Pizza dough. Let me see if it pulls up. Oh, huh. I wonder if I can find my store. Where in the heck is Eagle Road? Okay, here we go. We're going to select this, and now I'm going to do this. Okay, I think I can get it up here. Let me share the screen real fast, then I better get going. Okay, over here, share screen. Okay, I'm getting better at this stuff. Okay, now they do have these pizza crusts at Albertsons that are just on the shelf. I don't know if you girls have seen those, Cass and Danielle. These ones are easy. They're like in the Italian season, where you get the pizza sauce and stuff. These crusts right here, that I'm pointing out in this, they're like right on the top shelf. But you guys are short, so you might not see it. And I don't mean that mean. I'm like literally legit saying these little pizza crusts right here are on the very top shelf. And you have to, like, I wouldn't have seen them unless I was tall. And I used to wonder, how do they expect these to sell? But it's this O's Organic personal pizza. They're kosher and everything and organic. So if you have a Lucerne carrying company, a company that carries the Lucerne brand, look for this. Now let me see if they have, oh, here they are. These things are really good. See how they're kosher and organic. And they're thin as they come, but if you need a quick and easy meal, they're nice. Okay, so they're these ones right here.
That's a pre-made, right?
Yeah, it's just on it's on a shelf right by like where you have the tomato sauces, like in the pizza sauce. So if you have an O's Organic in your place, like whether it's Publix or whatever company's carrying that. Now, oh shooters, let's go back here. I want to show you if they had a I want to show you which one they had right here. This one right here. Okay, look at this. This is the one that I buy for Jim because it's all rolled out. You get circular flat. It's non-GMO verified. I don't know if they have the little sign for us here, but it is non-GMO verified and vegan. So this company, oh my goodness, it's called Just Roll Round and Thin. Okay, JUSROL. They have different styles. They have a blue one, a pink one. They have puff pastry. They're all vegan, all non-GMO verified. This brand, okay? And so you can make like pastries, danishes, that company. So I would look where, I don't know which companies would have them where you live, but you guys can, check with your grocery stores and see if they can carry that. Just Roll, JUSROL. Go ahead, Jeanette.
I know you have to go, but in case there was something quick you wanted to show, it looks like the Azure standard site was back up.
Oh, Let's see. No,
Sure.
not on mine.
It
Mel,
was on
can
mine.
I
That's
It doesn't like me.
Did you hear me?
No, I did not hear you.
I was gonna say that if it's you can normally look the company up, like that dough and stuff that you're
Mhm,
showing, and will normally have a store locator on their website to let you know what store sells it closest to you.
Exactly. Also, I wanted to show you guys my favorite bread right here. This has 0 added sugars. It's a sourdough. And so if I need to get one, this is what I get. Oh, this is the potato one. So I didn't, this brand, but it's not the potato one that I get. I do like the potato one. This one's really good, the everything sourdough. This one right here, the San Francisco sourdough. But this one right here, 0 added sugars. See, 0 added sugars. And it makes the best French toast. I ate that all Sabbath. I finished it last night. That's a good one. And it's sourdough. So fermented breads are a little better. So that brand, IZZIO, is another one to look for, okay? It's non-GMO verified, kosher certified. Those are some things to look for. Okay. Well, I don't know why Azure Standard doesn't like me. It likes Jeanette though. So Jeanette, maybe next time we'll go through the Azure Standard site. I hope that helped you guys though, give you some ideas of what to look for at the grocery store. Again though, organic lettuces and spinach, fruits and vegetables, the organic ones, load up on that, 2/3 of your plate that, and then do this other stuff. So, I love you all. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Thursday night, we're going to be going through the feasts. Okay? We're going to go through the festivals again. And we're going to go through, because it's coming up on you. It's not Yom Teruah. These people that are dropping out of outer space to deceive people are making me crazy. Today is not the Feast of Trumpets on any planet, nor on Earth. My goodness. Yah's got to come back soon and save us. Yeshua return.
Is it the Jews? I think aren't some of the Jews celebrating? No, they were singing
It's
because
Zadok people. It's the ones who pretend they found a new calendar. Again, these people, there's more theories since 2012 than, well, just in the last 5 years, it's gone crazy. But no, Judaism, Rabbinic Judaism is doing it the 22nd. We understand by the new moon cycles and the new moon sighting, it has to be this year, pretty evident it's going to be September 23rd, that sunset, because of the amount of days, cycles, and whatnot. But which makes sense because the year Yeshua returns. Again, this disproves the Enoch calendar is not, Zadok calendar is not okay because we have 1260, 1290, 1335. Let's do some math. 1260 and 1290. What's the number between those two dates? 28? No, 30. There you go. Enoch calendar disproved right there. Zadok calendar disproved right there. You can't do that, people. Stop. The book of Enoch is evil. Okay. Oh, any quick tips for morning sickness? I ate hot sauce. So Lola's hot sauce, if you do hot sauce, the capsicum in it or the capsaicin in it really helps your nausea. The other thing, protein. Keep your protein high. So nausea is going to be with protein. You're going to have to balance that nausea with protein. Yahweh, please bless, protect Jessie. Please help her through every step of this. But for me, the only thing that stopped my morning sickness was when I started eating a lot of higher protein with hot sauce. So spicy tomato things like that really helps me.
I'm not a hot sauce person.
I wasn't either that I thought of. And then my husband was in heaven when I was pregnant because it was the only thing that took away my nausea. Spicy. So if you can't do hot sauce, maybe do like chili powder or something like chili, something with that. But put it on like chicken. Get something tuna. I know that I ate a lot of eggs when I was pregnant. Eggs and tuna and the spicy helped me. Some people, I mean, everybody's different. Pickle juice, another thing when nausea in general, vinegar. Like pickle juice, I drink pickle juice, which is why I can never share my pickles with you. I have to get a different jar for you because I drink right out of the pickle jar. Okay. Well, we love you. Everybody keep each other Can you post your lamb recipes? I need to. I got to remember everything again. Yes. Life. I need 20,000 hours per day. If you can find that for me. Oh, finally, right when we're going to get done, Josie. Think you're too good for us today. No, I'm teasing. We missed you.
We were just at the garden volunteering. And I didn't, yeah. So.
That's okay. Jeanette will come down there and paddle you and Yesenia. You guys are in California. All you Californians, get over there and put them in timeout. No, I'm teasing. Okay, love you guys. And I will see you Thursday night for the teaching, okay? Love you all. Goodbye. Shalom.